This is for all you multi-talented, multitasking, multi-everything people out there. Take it away.
Find your glory, write your story, fearless, we will carry you. Time you own it, take your moment, be a fire burning through. Hustling from night until morning, grinding it out, it won't be long. Feel your power, it's your hour, you inspire, you are strong.
Enjoy your Zola. No applause? You're all fired.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Money. Are you ready? They are ready. Covering the biggest events in the country right now.
There's a lot going on here this morning.
It's always a good time. That's what the show's about.
That's good.
Really good.
Very good.
Coming in hot. Jimmy coming in hot.
It's far from elementary.
Good morning, America. I'm not going to try to strut like Michael or anything.
I have known George a long, long time.
Have you ever gotten him to dance?
Look at that face.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be there.
I am here and so happy.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I mean,
That tells you something when Snoop Dogg's in. Michael, George, Lara,
Ginger.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Well, hello to you, and you. Good morning to Lati, everybody. In the words of T-Talk with your girl. Welcome in, everybody. We have a lot to get to. Good morning to each and every single one of you. Linnell, still good to see you, and good morning to everybody. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 destinations for you all this morning. Don't know if you know this or not, but about 2 hours ago, the government shut down. Yeah, the government shut down. The actual, factual government has shut down. And Kamala Harris has responded. And I have a very unique conduit to get us to our first destination. So stay tuned for that. Tamar Braxton is opening up her mouth to talk about the upcoming season of the Braxtons and apologizing for the album rollout. We'll talk about that. Did Porsha Williams really get arrested? Now, I know she has a 265-day-a-year mindset, but do we really believe she would put herself in some actual trouble? We'll find out. John Gray has cheated on Inventor. What else is new, child? What else is new? We'll talk about that. Some updates on the P. Diddy case. And Diddy, we will see you on October 3rd at 10 a.m. for your judgment, okay? The ASU, the Alabama State University Honeybees, got disrespected by somebody who should never be respected. We'll talk about that. And the Fearless Fund, we reported on them here on Bring This Virtual Tour Live about the unnecessary lawsuit. Wait till you hear about this amazing revival of this fund. So with that being said, higher is waiting, low is available. But either way, we are live on tour. The one and only Rel is in the building. Good to see you, my friend. This is gonna be your first full tour. Welcome in. Okay, listen, we gotta be on our best behavior, but we also gotta keep it a buck and do what we do. Higher is waiting, low is available. But either way, we are live on tour. Let me take down this iconic intro here. You see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music? Yes, you do. And one thing to know, and two things for sure, that over here on this channel, a lot happens early. Rolling.
It's a new morning for America's family. Sun's coming up, so make it all that it can be. You know a lot happens early.
I'm Harry Smith.
I'm Julie Chen. I'm Maggie Rodriguez.
Morning everywhere. Come on, get up.
I'm Russ Mitchell.
And I'm Dave Price.
And it's a little early for this.
Right now, this it's a new morning for America's family. Sun's coming up, so make it all that it can be. You know a lot happens early. Every day's good when you started it out right. But I'm waiting for the daylight. And a lot happens early. Can you feel it when I say?
Good morning, everybody.
Are you girls ready for the Jonas Brothers?
We have an early show exclusive. Yes.
A lot happens early.
A lot happens
Early.
The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.
It's a new morning.
Yes, it is Julie Chen Moonves. It is a new morning. It's Russ Mitchell, Dave Price, Harry Smith, and Maggie Rodriguez. You're absolutely right on this channel right here. A lot happens early. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Caramel Real. Good to see you, my friend. You know, let's get to the getting and doing what we do. So I want to use a conduit to get to our first destination. Now, last night, I just want to show this, right? So last night, this was posted in Prosperity Thick Girls chat, Prosperity Thick Girl 40s chat. So Jabba Jaw's grandkids not getting Christmas gifts this year, Prosperity. Now, under the First Amendment, would it be fair for me to say, if BK Lakeisha had the First Amendment, freedom of speech to say that, do I have the First Amendment and the freedom of speech to say that BK Lakeisha's grandchildren won't get any Christmas gifts this year because BK Lakeisha spends too much money on Canvas Beauty? Would that be fair? No, it would not. Just like BK Lakeisha said that Jabba Jaw's Tea Talk with Your Girl sacrificed her son. That was her First Amendment right to say that. Now, would it be my First Amendment right to say that somebody should sacrifice BK Lakeisha's son? No, that would not be right. Just like the host of the channel, who should be responsible for what's in their chat. That's like if somebody said, will Prosperity Thick Girl 40's grandkids not get any Christmas gifts this year because she spends too much money on Canvas Beauty? Or somebody used their First Amendment right to say somebody should sacrifice Prosperity Thick Girl 40's son. Now, I thought kids were not supposed to be talked about. And this is going to lead to our first destination, because it seems like it's cool when they do it, but it ain't cool when we do it. Because if Miles Morales, Knox, Paris, all those kids, right, should not be talked about, then the 4-piece nugget shouldn't be talked about. And it's crazy, too, because it's like 2 hours ago, the government shut down. And this is what people are focused on. The government is shut down. I repeat, the government is shut down. Now, I'm going to use my First Amendment right to give where we are. BK Lakeisha, Prosperity Thick Girl 40, her supporters, and Lati Dati and everybody, let's just say they're the MAGA supporters, right? They were stomping for the president, rooting for the president, just hallelujah, please, Jesus. Oh, we want the fire. 1, 2, 3, fire. The president gets in office, and he's destroying Lati Dati and everybody, including their resources. And then BK, Lakeisha, Prosperity Thick Girl 40, and all of her supporters and all the MAGA supporters say, we can't stand Kamala Harris. Wait a minute, hold on, y'all vote for president. So if we have the First Amendment right to do wrong, then we have the First Amendment right to do right. Now, BK, Lakeisha, Prosperity Thick Girl 40, and her supporters are not MAGA supporters. But this is where I'm getting at. We are getting so caught up on whose team you're with that we're negating the bigger picture here of there is a president that don't want any of us around. And we have the black dastardly, black proxy, black imagination to speak on people's children. I'm just saying, because in the words of Plies here, let me go Plies, if someone else's success bothers you, you're just a fucked up person. Plies? Well done to you, sir. Well done to you, because it's very true. Like, I sincerely don't get it. Like, if you don't like somebody, don't talk about them. I don't get it. I just, like, do y'all not realize we got bigger issues in the world? Sincerely. I wanted to use that conduit of talking about other people's grandchildren, which is downright disrespectful, disgraceful, and a damn shame, when if the shoe was on the other foot, they would get big mad too. Just like the MAGA supporters are flipping on the president because of these Epstein files. And how the MAGA supporters are flipping themselves over about the First Amendment, and how they're flipping themselves over about them losing their privilege from somebody who never gave a fuck about their privilege in the first place. I just want us to have a context, conjecture, and connection here that we got bigger issues here rather than trying to be right when there are people trying to be happy and live their best life. So if you don't have nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. Now, it's sad that a 31-year-old has more wisdom, more sage, and more of a understanding and responsibility than BK, Lakeisha, Prosperity Thick Girl 40, her supporters, and the MAGA supporters that are closest to the grave to die than at the cradle to start life and give a fuck about being something in life. Now, with that being said, let's do what we do and go on tour. So with that being said, here we go here. About 2 hours ago, government shuts down as Congress fails to pass funding bill. Let's watch.
This morning, the government shutting down for the first time in nearly 7 years after lawmakers from both parties failed to reach a deal.
Republicans once again rejected Democrats' proposals to avoid a shutdown.
The Democrat caucus here in town, in the Senate, has chosen to shut down the government.
Overnight, senators blocking dueling proposals. Democrats overwhelmingly rejecting a GOP bill to keep the government funded.
The bill upon reconsideration is not passed.
And Republicans blocking a Democratic bill to reverse Medicaid cuts and extend Obamacare subsidies to keep healthcare costs from rising for millions.
How long would you be willing to let a shutdown go on until your demands are met? As long as it takes?
We need to save healthcare. It's so basic and existential for a lot of American families.
With lawmakers deadlocked, the president turning to mocking Democratic leaders, posting another AI-generated video on social media, showing Democratic leader Hakeem.
Now, I just want to say this. This is coming from the president who basically told the governor of Puerto Rico in so many words, I don't care about you, and threw paper towels at them when they were going through a hurricane. And he's a part of he's making his own mariachi band. Sincerely, this is looking like a BK Lakeisha move or a Prosperity Thick Girl 40 move. You want to talk about everybody else, but when somebody talks about you, you have big problems with. Let's roll on.
Hakeem Jeffries wearing a sombrero and a fake mustache.
We need from the president of the United States an individual who actually is focused on doing his job as opposed to engaging in racist or bigoted stereotypes.
The president trying to ramp up the pressure, threatening mass layoffs and cuts to programs.
We can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like.
Even floating the idea of cutting benefits without saying which ones.
We can do things medically and other ways, including benefits.
Already, as many as 4 million federal workers are preparing to go without pay, with furloughs hitting the majority of agencies. The Department of Labor seeing 76% of its workforce temporarily reduced. At Health and Human Services, 41% of employees will be furloughed, including 64% of workers at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
So I just want to go back to this for a minute. The CDC, that tracks diseases and things in the health world. Thank you so much, my friend. Love you as always. Thank you, my friend. Glad that you're here. And y'all like, comment, share, subscribe to Caramel Realm. 64% of CDC workers are going to be without a job. So that means that there is another existential health crisis. If there's updates on vaccines, if there needs to be an update on anything that needs to matter, we're not going to know about it, right? When it comes to the Department of Health and Human Services, right? 41% of those employees. Now, I just want to bring up, because we have to have context here. So right here, the United States Department of Health and Human Services is a cabinet-level executive branch department of the U.S. federal government created to protect the health of the U.S. people and provide essential human services. So, let's go to these programs and services. Your HIPAA and health rights, your health insurance, social services, TAF, Head Start, child care, child support help for individuals, families, and communities, prevention and wellness, providers and facilities, public health and safety, emergency preparedness and response, research, education and training opportunities, updating topic websites on the flu, vaccines, tobacco, healthcare, mental health, food safety, bullying, HIV, AIDS, and more, complaints and appeals. 41% of those employees will be furloughed. I just want us to understand here that while we have other people talking about other people's grandkids, when somebody can talk about your grandkids, we have bigger issues here. Look at this. New COVID-19 variant Stratus rising in 9 states, including Wisconsin, 30 minutes ago. Right here. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, collaborates to create the expertise, information, and tools that people and communities need to protect their health through health promotion, prevention of disease, injury, and disability, and preparedness for new health threats. And also, too, there are plenty of research projects to create new medicines that the CDC needs approval on, right? Or needs to pull approval on. And then 76% of the workforce, U.S. Department of Labor, let's talk about it. Now, what does the U.S. Department of Labor do? Right here. The U.S. Department of Labor promotes the welfare of wage earners, job seekers, and retirees by fostering profitable employment, improving working conditions, and ensuring workers' rights and benefits. It accomplishes this by enforcing federal labor laws, such as those related to minimum wage, workplace safety, and anti-discrimination. The Department of Labor also administers unemployment benefits, provides workforce development programs and training, and collects and publishes labor market data or data to inform policy and decision making. 76% of the workforce is going to be temporarily reduced. But you want to talk about somebody's grandchildren won't have any Christmas presents at all, where this stuff could affect your grandchildren being able to be healthy, for you being able to have a job or get resources so you can make sure you can invest in your grandkids. BK Lakeisha, Prosperity Thick Girl, and your supporters, and Lati Dati, everybody over on the other side of the mic supporters. This is why I have to call it out. Right is right, wrong is wrong. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. But don't be so bogged down in what you want to focus on that you miss what's in front of you. And if what I'm saying ain't true, don't respond to me. But if you do respond to me, it must be true to some damn degree. Okay. Let's keep going.
Members of the military also hit hard, many forced to work without a paycheck. Jamie Billard, whose husband is in the Coast Guard, preparing to tell their kids they'll have to scale back on dinners out and picture day at school.
What do we set as a priority? Your dad's not getting paid right now. That's our sole source of income. You know, I said no because there's bigger things happening here.
And in Fort Worth, Johnny Jones, a TSA officer, and an AFGE union official worried about how he'll make ends meet.
Child care does not take IOUs. Gasoline does not take IOUs. Your house payments do not take IOUs. And sometimes it becomes very difficult to maintain focus on the mission whenever you're trying to figure out how you're going to get to and from work.
Democrats say those threats from the president for mass layoffs are an act of intimidation, showing no signs of backing off their demands.
The president is now threatening these irreversible cuts to the workforce, to programs. Is that a risk that Democrats are willing to take?
It will fall on him, as I said. He's the one doing the firings, not Democrats.
So 2 Democratic senators and 1 independent broke ranks to support the GOP proposal to keep the government funded. Senate Republicans say they plan to bring that bill back to the floor today, but Democrats say they are holding firm. So the big question now, how do lawmakers get out of this shutdown? Exactly who caves? And just how long will it last? Robin, the last one was 35 days.
Those are all big questions that you just asked there, Rachel. Thank you so much for your reporting.
When making a general...
I saw this content creator here. Her name is J1 Yvette, 687 subscribers. I want y'all to listen to what she says here. Here's her title. Planning to protest Kamala Harris for not doing the job you then let her to do its crazy work. Let's watch.
I'm just going to say it, and I don't care if anybody feels any type of way about it. If you are planning to show up at Kamala Harris's book tour to protest her because she's not doing enough to stop what's happening in this country, you have to be a special kind of stupid. I mean, you have 2 brain cells rattling around in your head fighting for 3rd place. How do you not vote for her, not vote to get her into the office where if she had gotten into office, none of this stuff would be happening? You didn't show up then to vote for her and make sure she got into that seat. You let that fool get back into that seat, and now you want to go and try to force her to do something. That's not how that works. She is a private citizen right now. She has no power to stop any of this. But if y'all had done the right thing at the ballot box, she would be in a position where none of this stuff would be happening. And for those of y'all who said she didn't have any policies. Well, if she didn't have any policies, why do you want to harass her now when she's not even in office? But she did have policies. Policies that would have affected our lives. I'm an insulin-dependent diabetic. If we had Kamala Harris in office, my insulin would be capped at $35, even though I'm not old enough yet to qualify for Medicare. But she was going to extend that to all folks who use insulin. But that's gone. And even the $35 cap for Medicare recipients is gone because of Trump. if Kamala Harris were our president, tens of millions of the poorest and most vulnerable among us would not be losing Medicaid coverage.
Yeah.
Rural hospitals wouldn't be closing because of the Medicare cuts, or Medicaid cuts, I should say. Tens of millions of children would not be losing their free school meals, and they would not be losing SNAP benefits. So we wouldn't have to sit around wondering how we are going to help the tens of millions of children who could now go hungry because they have lost food assistance. If Kamala Harris were in office, my daughter and son-in-law could very well be buying their first house next year, because that $25,000 for first home buyers assistance, that would have came right on time. But nope, not only do they not have that now, housing is much, much more expensive than it would be if we had a president, Madam President Kamala Harris. Now, one thing about my daughter and my son-in-law, they are very resourceful folks. So they're still going to buy that house. And I'm putting it into the atmosphere. It's going to be sooner than they think.
Yes.
However,
man.
It's going to be a little more of an uphill battle, because Kamala Harris had plans and policies that would have opened the door a little bit wider for them to get into that first home. So instead of harassing Kamala Harris on her book tour, why don't y'all go take that smoke and go protest in front of the White House? Because that's who you need to be talking to. That's who's causing all of this. It's not Kamala Harris's fault. And y'all need to stop. Whenever you get yourselves into a jam, stop expecting Black women to do the labor for you.
That sister said everything and then some. The reason why we are where we are is because every other dumb fuck like BK Lakeisha, Prosperity Thick Girl 40, all her supporters, the MAGA supporters, and I'm using BK Lakeisha, Prosperity Thick Girl 40 and her supporters as a metaphor here, okay? Because they want to talk about people's grandchildren sacrificing sons, but yet let alone let somebody use their First Amendment right to speak on their grandchildren or sacrificing their sons, then we got problems. It's the hypocrisy here. That metaphor goes to the MAGA supporters and everybody else who's about right is right and wrong is wrong at this point. And everybody's asking, does anybody else see the fucking bullshit going on? Or are you too asleep because you don't want to deal with the reality of what you fucking voted for? There were men that were sexist that are now struggling because of a decision they made. We have a president that allow white men to dictate what BK Lakeisha's daughters and granddaughters, Prosperity Thick Girl 40's daughters and granddaughters will be able to do with their fucking bodies in the future. With the autonomy of their bodies. You know, they're trying to cut public funding for schools. FAFSA. That means we won't have future generations getting an education, so we won't be in a hellhole like this. I sure hope that BK Lakeisha and Prosperity Thick Girl 40 and all her supporters are strong and healthy, because God forbid if they're on Medicare or Medicaid, or if their companies have to make cuts, that hopefully they don't have to go to the hospital. Do you see why I am pissed the fuck off this morning? We got bigger issues here. And y'all, the president that should be president has responded. President 47 congressional Republicans just shut down the government because they refuse to stop your healthcare costs from rising. Let me be clear. Republicans are in charge of the White House, House, and Senate. This is their shutdown. And shout out to Kamala Harris, who should be the motherfucking president of these United States of America. Now, let's roll on, Okay, and by the way, for anybody who is wondering about the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture, due to the government shutdown, our museum will remain open through at least Monday, October 6th. The Smithsonian will use prior year funds still available to us to remain open. Okay, so for those of you who care about the museums, research centers, and our National Zoo, it will remain open through at least Monday, October 6th. After that, no word on the future of that. So I just wanted to let everyone know. And yes, I spent 30 minutes on this because guess what? We have bigger issues here. Okay? So if you can't get mad for this, I don't want to hear shit about anything else that you have to say. I don't. I do not want to hear any motherfucking thing else about what you have to say. If you can't be upset that people cannot get resources and access to try to be something of themselves. If you can't get mad for this, shut the fuck up. On any other content you got coming out, just shut the fuck up. Now, let's roll on. Child, I can't. Okay? I just can't do it. So that being said, let's go over to Kempire. Check this out. Tamar Braxton apologizes ahead of the Braxton season 2 and addresses album cancellation. Let's chat up with our good friend Kempire here. Roll it.
We see the new season of the Braxtons. And so it looks like Tamar Braxton has apologies before we see the new season of the Braxtons. During a recent concert, she makes an apology to the crowd saying that everyone's family is effed up. This comes after she, in the comment section of the Neighborhood Talk, told me to rot in hell.
Here we go now.
It actually happened.
Welcome back to the Kempire Channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. As you can see, I am not in my studio. I am finally out the country. I made an escape. But I will still be giving you content here and there. So bear with me while the content might be slow. Well, you know, we did a video just a few days ago reporting to you that Tamar had a few words for me in the Neighborhood Talk comments because, as you know, I had opinions on the sneak peek that came out for the Braxton season 2. And the thing that I said in the comment section, but I expanded more of my thoughts in a separate video, so be sure to check out that video. But what I said in the comments was, I'm noticing a pattern. Season 1, in this new era of the Braxtons, season 1, they utilized or weaponized, some might say.
Have you been wanting to make extra income?
First of all, this black woman's face card does not decline. Shout out to that. Now, to give you context, conjecture, and connection on the Braxtons, Tracy passed away due to epithelial cancer, throat cancer, right? And so Tracy had never before seen footage, this, that, and the third, that she wanted to air so that way she could help other people. In the midst of Tracy Braxton struggling to fight for her life, she still wanted to serve other people. And so the Braxtons came back to showcase that. Now, some people may say, like Kempire, that they were exploiting their sister and exploiting Kevin Jr., who we claim Kevin Jr., his father's a piece of shit, and we don't claim him. Just like we don't claim thirsty toxicity at all. Not here, not there, not anywhere, anybody say anybody black at all. Okay, and not all skin folk are kin folk. With that being said, Kevin Jr., to some people, got exploited, right? Last season, because of the struggle, double schmuggle that he was going through when it came to, you know, the fight between his father and him of who was going to be over Tracy Braxton's legacy. Okay, so that's just to give you context, conjecture, and connection to where we are now.
Well, I need you at my free beginner investing class. My name is Ashley M. Fox, and I am a former Wall Street.
Tracy and her passing, while also utilizing, some might say weaponizing, their nephew, while at the same time not giving a platform or a voice to the nephew's father, Tracy's husband, or just saying damning things about him without having him be able to counteract that. We noticed that happened last season, and that felt cringy and icky. This season, in the sneak peek, we noticed another situation where we have them talking about Ashley Braxton. Look, and Ashley took to social media on TikTok to express her story about one of her aunt's husbands being inappropriate with her via text. The aunt found out about it. She seemed supportive in the beginning and then basically turned on her in the end. You also see a scene where Tamar talks about how someone here sent me a cease and desist. You guys are interfering with my business. She said business, not saying you're trying to silence Ashley. That's why it's important to note that. She didn't say you guys are trying to silence Ashley. No, she said that you guys are trying to stop my business. And apparently,
pause that. That's a very good catch. I didn't even catch that, because if you really think about Tamar Braxton, right, and if you care about your niece, right, now I gave my opinions at the time that we all got the sneak peek, right, but hindsight is 2020. While it's great that Tamar gave Ashley Braxton a platform to then say that you got a cease and desist to stop my business where it should have been about your niece, that looks like it is sticky. In the words of Kempire. Let's keep going here.
apparently, this doesn't look good for Tony Braxton either, because it seems as if Tony wanted to bring Ashley on the show. It makes me wonder how Ashley's father, Michael Braxton, feels about his sisters currently.
Michael Braxton is the only brother of the Braxtons, and I believe he's a doctor, if I'm not mistaken. But let's keep going.
You also see another scene with Tamar talking with Ashley about what she wants to share. And if you watch that scene, Tamar's reaction, although we know she's dramatic and over the top, when someone's talking about this abuse, which Tamar has talked about her own, and she had wished someone had been supportive of her, this feels like they're weaponizing. This feels like they're taking advantage. This feels like they're trying to utilize this for season 2, not necessarily to protect Ashley or help someone. And again, we haven't watched the full season yet, but this is why I said this feels like, I didn't say that it was, I said this feels like a pattern that we're seeing. Only for Tamar in the neighborhood talk comments to say a lot of stuff she said, but basically the biggest thing she says, and if so, you can rot in hell. But God bless you.
So let me read this to y'all here. Let me read this to y'all. It says, at the Kempire, no, for real, stay out of this. This isn't entertainment. This is Ashley's story, and your hate for me surpasses this. If not, may your soul rot in hell, your choice, but God bless you. When I utilized the metaphor at the top of the show, it was to prove a point that right is right and wrong is wrong. And I want to give some love to Deshaun Fox, because we had a little bit of a rift, but we cool now. Okay? So I can get along with people. I just can't get along with people who have the black dastardly, black proxy, black imagination to do one thing, but not be able to take the heat when it's done back on them. That's it. That's all. Don't wish hell, condemnation, and dragorization of having prosperity, Thick Girl 40, and BK Lakeisha and all of her supports. Don't wish hell on them. I don't. They're black, I'm black. We as a culture have never been wanted since we have arrived on ships. We were strange fruit in trees at one point in time, and now we're becoming strange fruit in terms of our history being erased. Oh, this is old fruit. Even though the fruit may be damaged, it's still edible. So the strange fruit has evolved. Okay? So with that being said, and I said this on Kempire's show, for Tamar Braxton to say what she said to Kempire of, and if not, may your soul rot in hell. Now, I said to Kempire, there are probably some people that you cannot stand, that you dragged them, you tagged them, you gave no fucks about them on your villain tour. tour rather. But in the coverage that I've seen of Kempire, he has always given love, grace, and space to Lati Dati and everybody in the words of T-Talk with your girl, right? So I just don't really understand Tamar because, like, child, you already went through this thing with Funky, right? And that didn't turn out good for you. You already went through this thing with JR, right? That didn't turn out good for you. And Daniel, that didn't turn out good for you, right? Jesse Wu and Dish Nation, that didn't turn out good for you, right? Now, the real, some people believe that Lonnie Love fired Tamar Braxton. Some people believe Tamar Braxton, got herself fired. Either way, what happened is what happened. It was not right because Tamar was a very critical voice. See, this is the thing. We can love somebody but still criticize them. Some people can do that more than others. But that's neither here nor there. But to say that to Kempire, that is way too far. Because see, what ends up happening here, I gotta give Tamar Braxton game on how this thing works. But didn't y'all say that there were some things WeTV didn't give y'all? They finally gave it to y'all in order for the Braxtons to come back. What if Kempire gets Kempire After Dark weeknights at 10/9 Central on WeTV? Because that could legitimately happen. You don't know who knows who, Tamar. Child, let's roll on.
So I find this video that came out today interesting because now you're apologizing ahead of the season. What exactly are you apologizing for? But this is a pattern with Tamar.
There are hundreds of other partners that are using robotics and their technology more broadly. You're doing it in the restaurant case.
Robotics is really a force multiplier for AI.
This should terrify us, sincerely. We talked about a AI actress, Tilly Norwood, and then we talked about a black AI artist. Oh my God, hang on, give me a moment. I gotta go back because, child, like I said, I know what I do with my shows and everything, but I wanted to bring this up too because I think people are becoming too comfortable with artificial intelligence. I sincerely believe that people are getting really comfortable with artificial intelligence. Let me go back here. And like I said, we got time, y'all. We got time. So there is a song called Sweetest Illusion from Soar From Higher, right? And there is a AI artist, right, that so basically Zayana Monet, right, got a $3 million recording deal. If AI can come, hey, Florian, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. We're going to be talking about Porsha Williams here in just a minute, my friend. Just stay right there. It's good to see you. If we have AI being able to make music artists, okay, and then get $3 million recording contract, if we can have AI make actors and actresses where Creative Artists Agency, Unite Talents Agency, William Morris Endeavor want to rep them, and we have AI cooking food, there's already like AI bartenders, the claw bartenders, the robotic bartenders on Royal Caribbean stuff. I don't think y'all understand what's happening here. And me, Florian, and Filmmaker, we utilize AI as a resource, not the source, but we utilize it as a resource to have conversations about the theme park industry, right? And you guys have seen those AI lives; they've been trending because we utilize it as a resource. If we start negating humanity with technology, Y'all do realize Charlie and Chocolate Factory at the end of the movie, for the Johnny Depp version, that the dad still had to come in and fix the toothpaste machine. Y'all do remember that, right? Y'all do remember that. Y'all do remember that. So I just want everybody to be fucking aware. Okay? Because at this point, who's to say that the government won't use AI and replace thousands of actual people in government? Y'all, could you imagine if an AI senator or congressperson was in the House of Senate? Could you imagine an AI president? I'ma need everybody to wake the fuck up. This is terrifying. Let's roll on.
This is a pattern. And you guys have said, some of you have said that I've gone too light on Tamar over the years because I have given her a lot of grace. It's like, okay, she says she's going through healing. And every single time she has proven me wrong, that she is the same that she's always been. So take a look at what she said during a recent concert. It's interesting because she also talks about her album. Remember the album that she came to social media? Finally, we did a video where after she had the issue with Funky Dineva, and she says, because everyone was asking her about what happened to you, they don't believe you about her accident. So she's like, you know what? I'm not going to put out the album. I'm going to go to my farm.
And I was in the hospital and not okay. So I'm not putting it out. Y'all don't want it. I'm a bad person. Y'all don't want my music is tired. I was at Northside.
So now she's sort of giving a different reason as to why she's not putting out the album. So which one is it? Which is the truth?
What is your reason? What is it? What is your reason? What is it? What is your reason? What is it? Shout out to Nene Leakes. Let's roll on.
Let me just go ahead on and just address the elephant in the room. Y'all, the Braxtons is coming back, and I did not mean to do none of that. I'm sorry. It's coming back.
Did not mean to do what exactly? That's the part. I'm like, I don't know if it's a way for her to promote the show and make us want to watch it, or no, you're just getting ahead of the story because it doesn't necessarily make you look the best. And mind you, she is a controlling producer in this, so she
has her own production company called Tamar Braxton Productions. Because if y'all remember, with the Carlos King Tamar Braxton interview that we reviewed here on Rayleigh's Virtual Tour Live, Tamar and Carlos King were supposed to be working on some productions, but we haven't seen shit from both of them. Will people control AI president, or will AI pres be in full control of itself, meaning no stopping it? That's why I'm saying, Floriton, we got bigger issues here. And, you know, sometimes people wonder why people rest in their cavalry energy when there's a war going on, because you didn't listen to the cavalry the first time when they sent the danger report. So now you expect the cavalry to give a fuck when you didn't give a fuck about what they present to you. Let me say that two more times. You want the cavalry to now give a fucking fight when you didn't give a fuck what they present to you in the danger report. One more time for the one more time. You want the cavalry now to give a flying fuck about what you're going through and fight when you didn't respect what they brought you in the danger report. Y'all need to be alert. We got bigger issues going on here. And sincerely, right now, like I said before, if you can't get as loud for the fact that the government is shut down and people cannot get access to resources, okay, and services that people need to make life move at the pace that they want to. I don't want to hear it. Y'all do realize this also goes to TSA, right? I wonder how the airports are going to be today. TSA pre-check. All those air traffic control towers. It's amazing what we want to focus on. Let's roll on, child.
You can pick and choose what is shared.
Let's go ahead on and just address the elephant in the room. Y'all, the Brexit is coming back, and I did not mean to do none of that. I'm sorry. It's coming back. Love Tracy. And bitch, that's family. Everybody's family fucked up. Yes, it is, bitch.
I found it to be interesting that she mentioned Tracy, because remember, this is coming after what she said to me in the comments section. Okay, I find it
responding to "Yes, it is, bitch" by everybody's family fucked up. Tamar, sweetheart, honey peaches. Not everybody is putting their family drama on social media. And not everybody is going after other people to say, if not right in hell, sweetheart. Now, like I said, you and me, we got a special connection to Arkansas. Tamar Braxton days in Arkansas, from Little Rock, Arkansas. But child, you gotta give me something to root for in order for me to root for you. I can't with this. Let's roll on.
interesting that she's bringing up Tracy during this. Like, okay, because of what we pointed out of what you guys did in season 1 and what you're now doing in season 2. But who knows? I could be reading into this, but I'm piecing these things together because I noticed a pattern.
The neighborhood talk, by the way.
And I know y'all mad at me because my album didn't come out last week.
Liars.
But I had told my team I can't really say nothing without giving you nothing. So how I'm gonna tell you something that I don't know the answer to? You feel what I'm saying?
No, I don't feel what you're saying. I don't understand what you're saying. It sounds like a bunch of nothing. It sounds like word salad. What does that mean? Because a few weeks ago when you were going through all the drama with the accident that you had, well, apparently everything's back to normal. She seems quite fine.
Right.
It seems as if that was the reason then. So now you're saying something else now as to the reason why you're not releasing this. Remember, she also released that trailer with Mendices, and we still don't know what exactly, was he a paid actor or is he actually someone that you're currently dating? Because when Funky and you were going back and forth, Funky alluded that he was keeping your secret.
So I just said I'm just gonna let the people be surprised one day. Like, remember how the rapture was supposed to come up a couple days ago? Y'all forget the Holy Ghost forgive me.
Wow, I know you did not.
These are the hands and feet of the people that will bring care and healing, whose journey began at the intersection of career and meaning. And while the preparation will draw blood, sweat,
asked us, the culture, you said you forgave the Holy Ghost for the rapture. Please forgive me. Tamar, what are you doing? What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Why? What are we doing? Why are you moving this way? I just don't get it.
Forgive her, y'all. Forgive her. I don't know what needs to happen with Tamar. You know, and here's the reason why Tamar continues to do what she does. Because we keep rewarding the behavior. She's on a reality show. This is where she gets rewarded for this type of behavior. And I will always say this, the same thing I say about Nene Leakes, because people think that I hate Nene. I don't hate any of these people. I don't know these people to feel anything like that towards them. Do I hate some of the behavior that they display? Do I get tired of talking about the same thing over and over again? I do, but this is also my job, because a lot of times y'all don't see my DMs. Y'all don't see my comment section when people are like, Kempire, or when I'm live, Kempire, are you going to talk about this story? You're going to talk about this story? You're going to talk about this? Or you're going to... People are always asking my thoughts and opinions on talking about some of your faves, including Tamar Braxton. It would seem weird. And then people, if you don't talk about something because I'm busy, people are like, oh, you don't want to talk about Tamar, you scared to talk about that? And I'm just like, no, I can't cover every single story that there is, as you can see.
And honestly, I agree with Kempire on this. Like, here's the thing. The media industry is one of the hardest industries because you're giving of yourself not 265 days a year. That's Porsha Williams, who gives of herself 265 days a year. But for the rest of us, 365 days a year, 366 on a leap year, we're giving of ourselves to entertain an audience, right? And we still have to live a life outside of that. So, and let me tell you something. If Kempire is doing all of this on his YouTube channel by himself, congratulations, because listen, I just got this channel and Vault Culture, the backup channel. That's all I got. I ain't got no other channels. And this is like a full-time job at this point. And listen, I try to cover everything I do. There are some times where, listen, I am literally getting off a tour, or being on tour rather with y'all, and some breaking news happens. Sometimes I'm able to get, sometimes I'm not. But sincerely, you cannot, here's the thing. You cannot hold Kempire up to that standard and hold me up to that standard, and Lovely T and the Silver, and a bunch of other content creators up to that standard. But yet you don't recognize that you also have standards and requirements that other people look to you to fulfill, and you don't meet them your damn self, right? So we all have fallen short. But also, too, we also have the right to live a life. Like I said, Monday, I could not give y'all 2 shows. I could not. My head was gone. Right here, my whole head was gone. My nose was gone, okay? Body was gone. I'm good now. And I felt that it was better to give y'all a quality show than a quantity show. Moving on.
See, I'm traveling right now. So who you think is going to be covering the story while I'm traveling, while I'm in the air? Who's doing the editing? Who's also doing the research? Who's preparing the script? Who's producing the video? Me. But anyway, I say all that to say, when I saw the clip, literally as I was...
And because Kempire said that one more time, brother. Well done to you.
Eating my little dinner here, I was just like, there's something's fishy here. But it wouldn't shock me. There's always something fishy or not 100% when it comes to Tamar Braxton and her stories. And it's nice to know that Tamar watches, because somehow, based on her comment in the comment section to me, before she said rotten hell, clearly she's been watching. Guys, as always, I want to know your thoughts and opinions on what Tamar is now saying about what we can expect. And she's apologizing for what we can expect from the new season of the Braxtons. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. And don't forget our new merch, Are You Okay? Is now available along with tour merch. Make sure you guys check everything out.
Kempire needs to make that a podcast. Kempire, Are You Okay? Podcast. And Kempire, you can have this for free. Brother, have your subscribers send in stories, okay? And then you give your opinion on if they okay or not okay. Like, I think that would be a fire podcast. Listen, I'm just saying. The Kempire Are You Okay podcast coming soon. I'm speaking into existence. Here we go.
In the description. As always, thank you so much for watching.
Here we go now.
Kempire so much safe travels to wherever he is in the world, and safe travel back home. Want to give some love to my girl, the Silver here. Here we go.
Hello, family. Before we get into today's tea, I just have to take a moment and say thank you. Y'all blew up my last Braxton video with over 4,000 views and counting.
Right there.
I see you and I appreciate you. And because of that, we've got to dive even deeper into this Braxton's drama today. Because listen, Tamar just put out an apology that has everybody talking. Tawanda's old interview with Carlos King is suddenly hitting differently now. And now the rumors about money and contracts, it's giving jealousy, it's giving betrayal, it's giving drama. So grab your tea because we're about to break it all down.
So I want to skip ahead.
When you are a famous family.
I want to skip ahead just a minute because I want to talk about Tawanda and Trina. By the way, if you don't know who Da Silva is, she is an absolute legend. Let me pull up her channel here. And I still believe she has her Da Silva channel. So this is Love Unveiled with Da Silva. And then she also has Da Silva. One of the greatest people I have ever met virtually. I cannot wait to meet her in person. And she is a best friend for life. You know, her name could be Da Silva Lee. DL, Da Silva Lee, DL and BL, Da Silva Lee, Braylon Lee. But she married, though. I know, fellas. I know. We always miss out on the good ones. Okay, so let's roll on to this clip of Tawanda and Trina pissed over paychecks. Here we go.
Okay, so bear with me. This is what I have to do. Otherwise, I'll let it play through. Now, let's go on. Let's listen to what Tawanda said to Carlos.
Fortunately, when you are a famous family, you already know, and this is probably by just trial and error, right? Right. That when you're having fun answering those questions about who's the best sister who does that, it can relive in your real life in a very nasty way, and that can get misinterpreted.
Yes. So Carlos is speaking on the sisters answering questions, and then, it causes some tension between them because they're having fun and, and then, there's some problem in between. And Tawanda is, yes, honey, like she in church. Girl, you are not in church. Now, according to rumors, they say that Tawanda, honey, was the one behind the scenes doing all the mess that she had no business doing when it came to the nephew. So people have not forgotten about that. And let me just throw a little bit of information in case you didn't see this.
By the way, y'all, for those of you who don't know, Tawanda became a bonus mom to Kevin Jr. last season. She took on a very mama bear role for Kevin Jr. last season. Let's keep going.
Video, okay? Carlos and Tawanda say they are good friends. They good girlfriends. Because, honey, I look at anybody's side eye that's close to Carlos King, knowing his history. Okay, I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. But I could see these two being friends, considering the way both of them move. I could absolutely see these two being friends. But anyway, let's go on, because Carlos is already giving some excuse to Tawanda, his friend here. Ain't he friends with Tamar too? He just friends with every damn body, ain't he? He just friends with all the girls. Okay, but let's go on. Okay, let's go on.
Oh my Lord.
Were you paid a lot of money the first earlier seasons of
season one? No.
Do you
now, for those of you who don't remember, Vince actually invested in the Braxton Family Values pilot, right? Tamar has said that before in her Carlos King interview, that Vince made the investment into Braxton Family Values. Okay, let's roll on.
Remember how much you made?
I do, and I don't want to talk about it because it's disrespectful. But it's very disrespectful.
Oh, honey, she said it was so, child must have been so little that she said it was disrespectful. She's laughing about it. Sometimes you laugh so you don't cry. She's laughing about it, and she said it was very disrespectful. And if you look at Carlos' face, I believe Carlos knows how much it was. Because just look at him, looking at her.
She right, though. The Silva right. Look at him. He is like, damn. Now it was rumored that Winter, from formerly of Love and Marriage DC, said that Love and Marriage DC really didn't get paid shit. That's wrong.
Tawanda doesn't want to share it because it was so little. I guess it's embarrassing. Disrespectful, she said. I'm sure embarrassing. And so she doesn't want to discuss it, right, with her friend here. At least she don't want to tell us. But I think Carlos knows, based on his expression, and the way he's looking and the way he's reacting to it. I think he knows what that disrespectful amount was. And, I'm going to tell you why I'm talking about this. I'm going to go a little further, a little deeper into why I'm talking about this.
When?
Hey,
do you feel like you have it now?
Yeah. Nah.
Now, if a person had the money that they wanted, would they just not be like, yeah, I'm getting what,
When?
I'm going to tell you why I'm talking about this. I'm going to go a little further, a little deeper into why I'm talking about this.
When?
Do you feel like you have it now?
Yeah. Nah.
Now, if a person had the money that they wanted, would they just not be like, yeah, I'm getting what, I'm getting what I should be getting now. I'm happy with the pay, everything's good. I feel like I'm being respected the way I should be respected. But Tawanda's like, okay, to me, that means no. She doesn't feel good about the payment. She's not feeling respected the way that she should as far as the money is concerned. I mean, what are your thoughts? Do you think that Tawanda is getting paid what she should be getting paid and she's happy about the pay? Now, let me say this before I finish this video. It's just a short clip. We know that Tamar was a friend of the show last season.
Yes, you heard that correctly from the Silva. Tamar Braxton, who is a family member of the Braxtons, was a friend to the show. Where they do that at? Where they do that at? Where in the flying fuck do they do that at? Okay. That would be like my sister, who I love very dearly, one of the best people I know, and she, I believe, is going to be in a class of her own, surpassing her brother in so many other areas of business and everything in between. I really believe that about my sister. She is that amazing. Now, that would be like my sister saying, you know what? Brainley's fam detail. I love the show. My brother makes sure I'm good, but I'm just going to be a fan. I'm just going to be a friend to the show. And she my sister. What sense does that make? Let's roll on.
Okay, that's what they say. She was a friend of the show. Now she's back full time. And so prior to that, the show supposedly went off because the Braxton sisters stood as one and did not want to do the show because they weren't getting paid properly, right? They weren't getting paid as much. They felt like they should have been getting paid as much as the Kardashians, which I feel like they should have too. But we know the world that we live in, honey. And child, if it ain't white, it ain't right. That's how they think in Hollywood anyway, for a lot of situations, right? And I feel like they didn't get paid what they should have got paid. One, probably because, who they were with. And I also feel like it was because of, the color of their skin. It's just my personal opinion.
And before, and like I said, when you're pitching a show, right? You pitch it to multiple networks. So I'm sure that Braxton Family Values got pitched to E and they passed on it, right? But to be honest with you, if it would got on E, then guess what? That would have put E on the map too. Now the Kardashians did put them on the map, but I think the Kardashians were more circumstantial because they exist so heavily. Then the show helps the social media, and the social media helps the show, right? But like Barbara Walters say, what are you known for? When Barbara Walters, rest in peace to Barbara Walters, when Barbara Walters has to ask you, what are you known for? You are too far gone.
And y'all tell me in the comments how you feel about that. And so there has always been this issue when it comes to how much the sisters, the Braxtons, have gotten paid. But now it seems like the difference is how much each sister is getting paid as opposed to the Braxtons as a whole. So I believe Tamar didn't come back partly for that reason, because of payment. Because Tamar talked about how she now has her rights back because, she is the one that created this show. If you don't know, Tamar created this show, I believe her and Vince. And she was not getting compensated properly, nor was she getting recognition properly. And so I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it may have been a lawsuit or something along those lines. And now all of that is settled. And Tamar has come back. And I don't think Tamar came back just because. Now she's a full-time cast member, but Tamar also has producer rights, right? Because she's the person that created this show.
So just want to give some love to the Silver. So please like, comment, share, subscribe to the Silver. Love Unveiled with the Silver. I will put the link in the chatterization there. We do have more Brainley's Virtual Tour Live coming up right from this space right here and right now. Let's get to Porsha Williams, everybody. Here we go from Binge-Worthy. Okay, all right, here we go. Let's get it in. Let's make it do what it do.
This is exactly why we need to let the bloggers be bloggers and let the actresses be actresses and let TV producers just be TV producers. But more than anything, we really need to let the ex-Atlanta housewives know that they gotta stay off YouTube out here spreading fake news. No, but can y'all imagine if I really got on here acting like I am the gatekeeper of Beyonce's internet? But no, seriously, I know that it looks really easy, but there is an art form to this. It's Justin Diego back with another binge-worthy video. And today, let me just debunk this huge fake news story that has been going around about Porsha Williams allegedly getting arrested in some random street on a back alley in Atlanta. Before we get into some real Atlanta housewives, season 7 tea served up just the way you like it.
Don't worry, your video isn't boring. But I think the music is. It doesn't matter how.
Y'all, I clocked out last night after uploading some heat yesterday, and I was disturbed by all these notifications about Porsha Williams reportedly getting locked up. And y'all, I came back and booted up this Mac so quickly because I was definitely ready to collect some overtime pay. But, my first order of business, anytime I get a story like this on my desk, is to consider the source. So when I went to the Googles, I got nothing. So then I went to Twitter, and it didn't take me long before I realized that the probability of this story being legitimate was basically zero. Until I saw this tweet of a video from
Carlos, bro, why is your face like that, bro? Why is your face? I'm sorry. Are you auditioning for Power, bro? Like, what's going on? Hey, 50 cent. You might need to hire Carlos King for the next series. Wait a minute, can Carlos King be in Power Origins? I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Yo, this is my first time seeing this. Let's roll. I cannot. Woody Woodpecker. Let's roll on.
Los Kings panel with Claudia Jordan and Dustin Ross. And y'all, I was shook. In the video, Claudia was sharing some exclusive tea on Porsha reportedly being arrested the day before.
We just got some breaking news. Did you see the breaking news that just happened just now about
No.
Real Housewives of Atlanta?
By the way,
What?
go back a minute.
Housewives of Atlanta. Housewives of Atlanta news that just happened.
Being arrested.
Why does Dustin always look like he is out of it, bro? Like, can we keep it a buck? Like, he always seems like he's there, but he's not clocked in. Like, Claudia seems like, now people can say what they want to do about Claudia, this, that, and the third, and all that. And I know, la-di-da to everybody, but, Claudia at least clocks in for work, okay? I think we can all at least admit that. All right, let's roll on.
The day before.
We just got some breaking news. Did you see the breaking news that just happened just now about
No.
Real Housewives of Atlanta?
What?
Porsha Williams got arrested.
What?
What? It's not as bad as it sounds.
And y'all, Claudia had me really thinking that Ricky Smiley himself has sent her over the footage.
So before everybody goes crazy, she was driving, arrested yesterday. She was driving 78 and a 55. Why were they 78 ain't on a suspended license?
Okay.
So,
Wait. Back up.
Because other than a couple of uhs and some slight stuttering, it seems like she knew exactly what she was talking about.
A speeding violation on an arrested.
Listen, I said that Carlos should audition for the Power Universe at 50 Cent. Like, by the way, Dustin and Carlos, y'all went on a New York trip together? I'm just asking questions. I mean, do what you want to do off camera. Fly away, be free. Live your best life. You like living this kind of life. You living your best life. Shout out to the Clark sisters, by the way.
Suspended license. Porsha Williams said she was suspended. Her license was suspended. Driving on a suspended license. Driving 78 miles per hour in a 55 mile an hour zone. Arrested yesterday. So that's the breaking news that just came out. So it's not that juicy. Oh.
And Dustin Ross is so unserious because he basically
Leah
said
Bailey is an actual legend compared to Dustin Ross, who exists. Let's not disrespect Cynthia Bailey like this. Let's roll on.
what any Porsha fan would say if this story had landed on our feed.
So
her mugshot about to be cute.
Oh, you know it's gonna be pretty.
Yeah.
Legal notes. Yes, Nathan J. Legal notes. It just
Claudia
came out.
with the legal note. Okay, so
Honestly, watching this, knowing that this whole thing was fake news, is really sending me right now because we have like 3 really respected journalists here, and none of them clocked that this story came from a known Real Housewives of Atlanta fake news clickbaiter.
No. Go back. Binge-worthy, shut your ass up. I can't stand you. Go to the fucking corner. Go to the fucking corner. Claudia is respected. Carlos, somehow, he has become something. Dustin, he's on a podcast with an actual factual smacktual attorney who is smarter than the brain he was born with. But okay, Binge-worthy, it's your video, bro. I still love you anyway.
No.
But Claudia, is she home? Is she getting released?
I think she is. She's already out.
Yeah, this page on Facebook literally makes things up all the time. And I feel like they just be trying to run up that check from time. And I feel like
already out.
Yeah, this page.
Yo, said Aaliyah. Shout out to said Aaliyah. Don't disrespect to y'all. But said Aaliyah, Missouri. How can you do Real Housewives of Atlanta fan news and you're not even in Atlanta, bro? Come.
Page on Facebook literally makes things up all the time. And I feel like they just be trying to run up that check from Meta, to be honest. And people literally text me or DM me all the time about these stories. And I don't really have a problem with like people asking me like to verify Real Housewives tea, but I just be like, y'all can't tell that this is clearly like trolling? Like these stories be so unserious, and I'm like, are we really becoming the people who like get scammed by weird people demanding our card numbers and stuff? Like, what's going on? Like, y'all, we gotta get it together.
And fully agreed. All right, y'all, we do have more Breaking News Virtual Troll Live coming up right from the space right here, right now. Twitter calls Pastor John Gray offset in a pulpit. Oh, Lord. After his public apology for cheating to his wife for cheating on her again, child. Let's just watch a little bit of this, okay? Yeah.
After posting our Bishop Eddie Long and Bishop T.D. Jakes videos, our besties requested we look into someone else who deserves a...
And by the way, I'm going to show as much as I can and still keep the show going, because John Gray worked at Lakewood Church, which is Joel Osteen's church, right? And then Relentless Church as well. And Aventer, who is his wife, beautiful woman. And also, too, John Gray was also a talk show host on The Pastors, which was trying to be like The View, but for Christians, and just didn't work. So he has cheated on his wife multiple times. And it's just like, at this point, if you keep signing up for the okie doke, you want what you got. Like, I'm not sorry. And I think Aventer should leave at this point. That's just like the woman who's been the side chick for 30 years. This woman, we talked about her here on Marlene's Virtual Tour Live. She would literally iron her husband's clothes so he can go out with side chicks. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Let's roll.
Top spot in our mega church messiness series, and that person is none other than John Gray.
Lord, this is gonna be messy. Lord, this is gonna be messy.
Before the holier than thou crew tells us we need to mind our business,
Turn to your neighbor and say, "Scoop me."
Let me see something. This person is allergic to peaches. They have a legitimate reason, but still want to be on the girl's business. Yeah, true. Now let me go back, because they said I got to turn to my neighbor, do something real quick.
Be messy.
Before the holier than thou crew tells us we need to mind our business,
Turn to your neighbor and say, "Scoop me
Scoop
up. Something to munch on from rgsnacks.com.
our online concession stand that has an assortment of beef and bacon jerky, butter toffee peanuts, green apple licorice, and RRG coffee mugs. John Gray was born on June 26, 1973.
A damn cancer. I knew it, girl. I knew it.
In a chit-chat with Sister Circle YouTube channel, he said he was raised by a single mother. Around the age of 6, he was taken advantage of by an unknown person and has admitted that he never healed from the trauma.
The truth is, as big as I am, I'm a marathon runner. I might not run in the natural, but I've been running in the spirit my whole life. I've been running from the things that I'm afraid of. I've been running from the things that have been stalking me in my fears and in my nightmares, areas of insecurity, areas where I don't feel adequate.
He also stated that the men in his family suffered from lifelong addictions, and he struggled to fight the demons that he inherited.
Now, I will say all of that is, not right, not cool what happened to him, but let's jump ahead just a little bit.
Ministry. He observed the woman from afar and noticed that she was a little bit weird.
Ninja, you the weirdo that was stalking her. With his stalking ass. Hell, one of them single mothers married to their sons, huh?
He was engaged at one point, but things didn't quite work out. And then, while in charge of the youth arts department at church, he crossed paths with one of the leaders of the dance ministry. He observed the woman from afar and noticed that she was a little bit weird.
Ninja, you the weirdo that was stalking her. With his stalking ass.
He continued watching her, but he never approached her.
With his scary self.
About a year after he first noticed her, he finally approached her after a church service. She introduced herself as Aventer.
Avatar? Girl, no. Aventer. Oh, I thought she said Avatar, girl. Girl, no.
Say that RRG does it. Chef's kiss.
They started talking, and he asked to borrow her phone, and then he texted himself from her phone so he could have her number.
It's never been easier to start a podcast than with Riverside. Here's how it works. First, go to...
They started off as friends before deciding to be in a relationship. They got married in 2010. On their honeymoon, they were so broke they had to share a shrimp cocktail.
Fix it, Jesus. She didn't check his bank account, honey.
Holy is what them pockets was. What?
Honey?
Couldn't keep no money.
John said,
I'd rather have Jesus than silver and gold. They welcomed 2 children, and unbeknownst to Aventer, she married a man who was dealing with several personal issues.
Lord,
and they
here we go.
Just
Here
like I
we
like
go.
them.
John admitted to Sister Circle TV that aside from the demons he inherited, there were demons he invited into his life. He was constantly fighting against his own nature. He said,
So now I'm trying to be a husband and a father and a leader, and I didn't see any of those up close. So how can you be what you've never seen?
Ooh, message.
So the wife that I chose is better than the man that I am. I married a woman 2 sizes too big. I have to grow into Aventer. She's a coat. I still can't fit her. She's bigger than me. And she's had to cover me while I grow up. I got to grow into her.
But she's a covering.
She's a covering, not a lid.
Ooh,
Because if a man marries a lid, she'll stop your dream. But if you marry a covering, she'll push you to your destiny. Now, I'm about to shout and tear this whole thing up.
Honey. While the Sister Circle co-host hooped and hollered over John's testimony, a lot of people could see right through every word that was coming out of his mouth. Viewers pointed out that the pastor was using words that described Aventer as being a better person than he will ever be in order to condition his wife to accept his personal struggles. Because a strong, Black, God-fearing woman can surely handle a man who is dealing with deep-rooted, unaddressed issues that are reportedly wreaking havoc on their marriage, right? What I tell y'all, a Black woman's curse. We just expected to handle it all.
Girl, be quiet. You be quiet. I was here before your ass.
By 2016, he was an associate pastor at Joel Osteen's Lakewood Church in Houston. That same year, Oprah Winfrey's network announced that John had been given an 8-episode docuseries called The Book of John. The show featured glimpses of his home life, as well as footage of John helping people in his community overcome challenges, all while facing his own struggles as a husband and father.
Did he go to therapy, girl? That's what I want to know.
While keeping his position as associate pastor at Lakewood Church, in May 2018, he became the pastor of Relentless Church in Greenville, South Carolina. While it should have been a time of celebration, there was trouble brewing. In July 2018, John and other Black pastors were invited to the White House to meet the then president, Donald Trump. John told The Real that the purpose of the meeting was to find ways to reacclimate prison inmates back into society.
Now what the hell that got to do with him? That's not his ministry, honey, at all.
God said, go, because that affects me. I got cousins in jail. I've had uncles in jail. My father was in jail the day I was born. So those were things that speak to me.
He knew he could lose his credibility and damage his reputation, and his wife even told him it was a bad idea. But nonetheless, he got on the first thing smoking straight to D.C.
With his dumb ass.
While meeting with Trump, John invoked a Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. sentiment.
Dr. King said, we cannot influence a table that we are not.
By the way, this family member is a former family member of the King family, and she has been disowned respectfully. So just want to add.
See to that. And so we pray that this conversation will be fruitful and productive and honoring of the best traditions of this nation.
I have a dream
that one day y'all will leave Dr. King out of this mess. Okay.
With his social media comments in shambles, he took to his Instagram to share that he hadn't visited the president to show support. He added, I went as a man of God and I wanted to be heard. That if there's anybody who thinks they're above praying for people they don't agree with, then you don't have the heart of Christ.
Or the brain of a squirrel. Okay, because you should have stayed your Black ass in Greenville, South Carolina.
He also made it clear that he didn't attend the meeting as a politician. He said, I'm not a Democrat, nor a Republican, nor an independent. I'm a Christian.
Ninja, do you vote red?
He told Sister Circle TV that he finally realized he was being used as a visual for Trump's base.
Now you're saying hindsight, would I go again? I'll simply say this. I've been invited back a number of times and it's not the proper occasion.
During a June 2018 sermon, he revealed that he and his wife had been having problems for the past 2 years and they contemplated filing for divorce. He said they were arguing a lot and one of them would sleep on the couch some nights. He added,
and I started listening to the wrong voices and let some people get too close. And she found out, and she set it off, just like a good wife should.
Let me translate. Hang on. Let me get on the big screen for y'all real quick, okay? When he said she found out about those voices and got it straight like a good wife should, motherfucker, either it's me or it's you. And because it ain't gonna be me, it's gonna be your ass. Okay? Now he did that very cutesy, very mindful, very demure for Sunday morning service. But Aventer made it winter in that home. Best believe that.
There we go with the manipulation again. Ninja, how about you just don't F up? How about that? His wife addressed the situation during the same church service by saying,
And then I prayed for them and him, and then the devil loses. Because what?
Child. You know, just because you pray a demon away doesn't mean that they go away. You do realize the devil is a roaring lion, seek one to kill, seek, and destroy, this, that, and the third all around the world. Aye, aye, aye. So, no.
What's not going to happen is you tell me that I'm going to lose my purpose because somebody whispered to a 16-year-old John. The devil is a lie.
Now, wait a minute. I just recognize this. Why are you saying this in front of graduates? This should be graduation day. What the fuck? Okay, let's roll on, child. I just can't.
You can go on back to the pits of hell where you came from.
A writer for Yahoo was unimpressed with John and Aventer's statements. The writer called out how the Black church had consistently been of a disservice to Black women as it pertained to heterosexual marriages. The writer's deed was overshadowed just days later. Instead of asking for offerings from the congregation, he told members to take what they needed from the collection basket. Girl, you heard what I said.
I was just checking. I thought that's what you said, but I was just checking, girl. Go ahead.
The good deed was overshadowed just days later when John surprised his wife with a $200,000 Lamborghini SUV. The car was a gift in honor of their 8th wedding anniversary.
Nah, that was I'm sorry for cheating on your ass gift. That's what that was.
He presented the car keys to her with cameras rolling, and if he expected people to applaud him for purchasing a car that's worth more than what most Americans make every year, he was dead wrong.
You're dead wrong, Pastor. You dead wrong.
Social media users took to the comments section to accuse John of using the church's money to purchase the luxury vehicle.
Not a nickel, not a penny from this church, Relentless Church, went towards the gift that I gave my wife.
Okay, but what about a dime? A quarter?
Monster. If y'all not watching RRG, y'all need to be.
He said the SUV was his wife's dream car, and God helped him purchase the car with his book profits and other ventures.
God said, now why am I in it?
His you get on arenas and on fields.
I don't see anyone screaming about how basketball players drive what they do while you pay money to see them playing arenas on fields. We don't live for people, we live for God. You know, God rode in on a donkey's ass. Okay, I just want to say that. Okay, listen, I know it's not Sunday, but it is Bible study for Wednesday night. So we just know this is just preparation for lay on the night for those of you who gotta go to church. It's just a little bit with soul over here.
We don't live for people, we live for God.
She later deleted her comment.
Girl, sit your ass down.
As 2018 came to an end, John popped up at Lakewood Church and told the congregation that 2018 got on his nerves and he was ready for the year to be over.
You get on my nerves too, Pastor. Okay.
He also discussed the backlash he received about the SUV, and he said it taught him a valuable lesson. Stop broadcasting everything. Unfortunately for the pastor, 2019 would bring more struggles.
No, not again.
After telling his congregation he had thoughts about taking his own life, the pastor visited Bishop T.D. Jakes' revival event on January 3rd, 2019. During the event, the bishop called the dark spirits out of John's body.
Girl, where they at? Do you see him? See what, girl? The dark spirits. Girl, shut your ass up.
John later revealed that Tyrese also saved his life when he was thinking about...
Now, out of all people, I just want to say this. Out of all people, why would you go to Tyrese? Okay. When this is how Tyrese, he went after Teddy Pendergrass's ex-wife and tried to dodge, being served papers. What got upset with the Home Depot? Child, Why would you go to him when he acted like this?
Don't take my baby. I'm at $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me? Oh my God. Don't take my baby. I'm at $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me? Oh my God. Don't take my baby. I'm at $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me? Oh my God.
And then went after The Rock because the Fast and Furious movie didn't come out on time because Dwayne The Rock Johnson is a bigger star than Tyrese Gibson's existence. Let's go back. Now, what friend do you have, and what friend do I have, and what friends do we have that, you know what, Braylon, Florentin, Relly, Linnell Stiller, any of y'all, who do we know? It's like, you know what, you're going through a lot. I'm going to get you an IV drip. I'm going to get you a feast. I mean a motherfucking ass feast. I mean a Caesar's Palace festival feast. And I'm going to get you whatever you need to get these demons out of you. Name one friend that's ever done that for you. I'm just asking a question, okay? I'm just asking a question. Hang on, let me do this again. I just want to make sure that we're good here. Okay. Just let me go back. Name one friend that's ever done that for you. Name one. You can't. So as y'all can see, you know, it's just one thing after another. Let me see if I can finish this video up. So as you can see, he's been a whole problem out here, okay? Now let's roll on to some updates with P. Diddy here. Shout out to Ice Cream Conversations here. Cassie's powerful letter right here. I've been in a cycle, dear Judge Samiri, I've been in a cycle of thought And then over thought, writing this letter to you. If there is one thing I've learned from this experience, is that victims and survivors will never feel safe. Although I can hope for justice and accountability, I have come to not trust anything. I hope your decision considers the troops at hand that the jury failed to see. For 4 days in May, while 9 months pregnant with my son, I testified in front of a packed courtroom about the most traumatic, horrifying chapter in my life. I testified from that age 19. Sean Combs used violence, threats, substances, and control over my career to trap me in over a decade of abuse. He groomed me to perform repeated sex acts with hired male sex workers during multi-day freak-offs, which occurred nearly weekly. I was forced into lingerie and heels, told exactly how to look, and plied with drugs and alcohol so he could control me like a puppet. These events were degrading and disgusting, leaving me with infections, illnesses, and days of physical and emotional exhaustion before he demanded it all again. Sex acts became my full-time job, used as the only way to stay in his good graces. I testified that I learned to read Sean Combs' signals, knowing that when he spoke of freak-offs, he was demanding them. That refusing punishment meant losing my car, my phone, or worse. He controlled every part of my livelihood and threatened to destroy my reputation by leaking sex tapes, a threat he repeated often. His power over me eroded my independence and sense of self until I felt like I had no choice but to submit when he believed I had wronged him or was not sufficiently responsive. He also threatened people around me and those close to me, including my family. I was regularly worried that displeasing him meant putting my family and friends' safety at risk. I testified how beyond these threats, Sean Combs frequently used violence to get his way. Over the nearly 11 years we were together, Sean Combs would hit me, punch me, stomp on my face, pull my hair, and throw my body to the ground and against the wall. The jury saw pictures when he slammed me into a bed frame. The entire courtroom watched actual footage of Combs kicking and beating me as I tried to run away from a freak-off. In 2016, people watched this footage dozens of times, seeing my body thrown to the ground, my hands over my head curled up in a fetal position to shield me from the worst blows. This physical violence caused bruises that makeup artists paid by Sean Combs would cover up, as well as permanent scars all over my body. During my time with Combs, I was in a constant state of hypervigilance, and I was always anticipating demands for sex acts or otherwise fearing retribution for any perceived slight. My descent into substance abuse was directly correlated with his increased control of my body, my money, my freedom, and my free will. I used those drugs to push through the horrifying sex acts he demanded, to numb myself, to use the physical pain, the emotional turmoil I was constantly in. While the defense attorneys at trial suggested my time with Combs was akin to a great modern love story, but God forbid anything happens to their daughters or granddaughters, or any of the women on the jury being raped in New York City during the trial. God forbid that happened. They would have a whole fit about it, but that's neither here nor there, but it's a very important point. Nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing about this story is great, modern, or loving. This was a horrific decade of my life, stained by abuse, violence, forced sex, and degradation. I spent the last 7 years of my life slowly rebuilding myself, physically getting clean from the drug abuse Sean Combs forced and encouraged, and mentally understanding how to live with a seemingly insurmountable level of trauma. The horrors I endured drove me to have thoughts of ooh-eyed ones I almost followed through on, if not for my family's intervention and urging that I seek professional care. I've been to rehab and taken part in dozens of types of therapy, modalities to comfort, compartmentalize, and cope with the horrific memories of sexual and emotional abuse I've endured for nearly 10 years. While what he did to me is always present, I'm slowly learning how to live my life free of the fears and horrors I endure, and in doing so, I'm fully devoted to my husband and children. I still have nightmares and flashbacks on a regular, everyday basis and continue to require psychological care to cope with my past. My worry is that Sean Combs or his associates will come after me. My family is my reality. I have moved my family out of the New York area. I'm keeping private and quiet as possibly as I can, because I'm so scared if he walks free, his first actions will be swift retribution towards me and others who spoke up about his abuse at trial. As much progress as I have made from recovering from his abuse, I remain very much afraid of what he is capable of and the malice he undoubtedly harbors towards me and having the bravery to tell the truth. His defense attorneys claim he's a changed man. He wants to mentor abusers. I know firsthand what real mentorship it means in this disgusts me. He's not being truthful. I know that who he was to me, the manipulator, the aggressor, the abuser, the trafficker, he is who he is as a human. He has no interest in changing or becoming better. He will always be the same cruel, power-hungry, manipulative man that he is. When I came out, my allegations, my civil case, he finally denied them again and again. Was only after actual video footage corroborated the exact words of my civil complaint that he issued an insincere apology on the internet. Thanks to the footage and my testimony, this is also something he will be forever associated with. For over a decade, Sean Combs made me feel powerless and unemployed. My experience was real, horrific, and deserves to be considered, while the jury did not seem to understand or believe that I was engaged in freak-offs. Like I said, God forbid their daughters, granddaughters, or any woman in their life gets raped or go through a fifth core or half of it. And that includes Malago Scam. Shout out to Conscious TV and Carisha Brownlee and Gina Julia. And to use Malago Scam's words, as long as he is the good father, fuck the baby mama and fuck the child. So as long as Malago Graham's husband is paying all the bills, Malago Grahams can get raped and dragged and disrespected. She's cool with that behavior. And Malago Graham should lay their rollover and take it, because she dragged Megan Thee Stallion unfucking necessary. Now she's in her own shit while she's dragging Armand Wiggins, and Armand is way up here and she's about to go to the lower that's available. That might be an orange fucking jumpsuit. For over a decade, Sean Combs made me feel powerless and unemployed, but my experience was real, horrific, and deserves to be considered, while the jury did not seem to understand or believe that I was engaged in freak-offs because of the force and coercion the defendant used against me. I know that is the truth, and his sentence should reflect the reality of the evidence and my experience as a victim, reliving in detail the events and truths described throughout this trial. And this layer costing me tremendous pain. I'm trying with all that I am to move forward. I hope that your decision considers the meaning lives of Sean Combs is upended with his abuse and control. Thank you for your time and attention, Cassandra Ventura Fine. And that is how you stand on business. Carisha Brownlee, you better hope this doesn't happen to your daughters or your grandchildren or any woman in your life. Junior Julia, same to you. And to all the supporters, may God protect all of your children and grandchildren from ever wanting to associate with y'all fucking existence. Prosecutors are recommending 11 years and 3 months in prison for Sean Diddy Combs. In a new sentence in memo, prosecutors detailed testimony from two women referred to Ventura and Jane, described as being pressured into participating in freak-offs and hotel nights arranged by Combs often involved drugs, escorts, and cameras. Both women said he used threats, financial control, and physical violence to entrap them. So he will be sentenced this Friday at 10 a.m. And then, of course, Diddy's denied a new trial. I cannot. Judge Arnson denied a new trial due to the overwhelming evidence of Combs' guilt under the Manning Act. Now, want to bring this in as well, and we're going to get everything in, everybody. Don't you worry about that. HBCU president defends plus-size dance group after game. So these are the ASU honeybees. This one can have my soul. All of them can, but this one, she could just devour me. But basically what ended up happening was there was a game that happened, and the Florida A&M band announcer Joe Bullard called them the new face of Ozempic. The crowd acted with shock and disgust. Soon after, the incident spread on social media, quickly ignited outrage across the HBCU landscape. So Alabama State President Quentin T. Ross condemns remarks or recognize the spirit of competition. There's no place for disparaging and demeaning remarks directed at our scholars. He also spoke directly with FAMU's president, who has ties to MAGA and supporting the president, by the way. I just want that to be on the record. With the Southern Western Athletic Conference commissioner, both leaders agreed with his position. Ross praised the honeybees and the Miami marching horns for their dedication. He explained that they spent countless hours preparing unforgettable show-stopping shows that display Alabama State pride. Speaking directly to the honeybees, Ross added, "Please know that you are celebrated, valued, and admired for the joy you bring to Hornet Nation, for the bold and fearless way you represent the very best of ASU." And that is how you are a president. And here's the president's remarks here from Florida A&M during the halftime, the Florida A&M University versus Alabama State University football game. An inappropriate offensive remark was was made by Marching 100 announcer. On behalf of Florida A&M University, I extend my deepest and sincerest apologies to the Honeybees, the Miami Marching Hornets, President Quentin Ross, the entire Alabama State University community. The Honeybees represent discipline, school pride. Their performance tradition is represented across the nation. How their dedication or artistry diminished by a thoughtless comment does not reflect the values or respect we hold for our colleagues at Alabama State University or for the broader HBCU community. I've spoken directly with President Ross to convey my regret and reaffirm that such comments are acceptable and will not be tolerated. Florida A&M is taking immediate steps to ensure accountability for our organization to prevent incidents like this in the future. We remain committed to upholding the dignity and excellence that all HBCU institutions bring to the field, the classroom, and the community. Child, listen. Honestly, like, these women right here, they're gorgeous. Okay, now I want you to see who this dumb fuck looks like. This is the dumb fuck right here. He couldn't get their grandmothers, even if the grandmothers wanted some. Child, fire his ass, cut his pension, cut his paycheck, cut every fucking thing. Because if somebody said that about his fucking daughter or granddaughter, he would be pissed the fuck off. We are stopping this shit of just allowing toxicity. Okay? All right. Just moving on. Finally, y'all, the Fearless Fund. BlackEnterprise.com, the Fearless Fund reemerges after anti-DEI settlement and goes global. The Fearless Fund says it will not retreat just 1 year after settling a high-profile lawsuit that accused the Atlanta-based venture capital firm of discriminatory grant practices. Instead, the firm has expanded its mission globally, launched a new initiative aimed at influencing policy as well as investment. On September 28th, the Fearless Fund hosted its first major event since the case came to a close, unveiling what the organization calls the Fearless Global Initiative. Approximately 150 attendees gathered in New York, including U.S. Representative Jasmine Crockett, Libertarian Foreign Affairs Minister Sarah Beez+The, and civil rights attorney Ben Crump, according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. I knew that it wasn't going to be simple as having a fund. It was literally we're going to have to get policies to change. Founder CEO Aaron Simone told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Simone framed the expansion as necessary in an era where many organizations are retreating for diversity, equity, and inclusion work. Now the companies move forward with the Fearless Global Initiative. The initiative prioritizes demographic equity, a concept that will align funding, contracts, and investment flows more closely to population demographics. Demographic equity means the demographics of the people must match the demographics of the contracts, the invested, and the funding allocations. Fearless founder said this is as good for the white Kentucky coal miner as it is for Latino California farm workers. Demographic equity means delivering the resources, the financial support at a scale that reflects the population. Is something we can all get behind. The Fearless Fund was sued by 2023 by the conservative group American Alliance for Equal Rights over a small business grant contest that favored women of color. The plaintiffs alleged the program unfairly excluded non-black applicants. The firm and its nonprofit arm settled the suit last year. The company no longer offers that specific grant funding. The firm continues its core investment work since the lawsuit has maintained its portfolio companies as well as small business loan program that launched last year. Still, Simone acknowledges that the legal battle forced constraint as it delayed raising a second venture fund. Additionally, the company experienced a drop in corporate sponsors. Before the loss, the firm typically had 20 major corporate backers in a given year. This year secured 3: UPS, JP Morgan Chase, and Costco. Shout out to those 3 companies right there making it do what it do. Shout out to y'all. The deal has been held according to Simone, but the founder also stressed that the firm remains committed. Just because we decide to be audacious and cut $1 million checks to black women and cause a disruption in this country. And that says a lot more on them than it does on y'all. So keep up the good fight. If we don't support us, we won't have an us. And the reason why we will always be circling the drain is because nobody ever wants to get up and move forward and stomp for what needs to matter. And above all else, our lives begin to end when we become silent on the things that matter. Okay, so with that being said, y'all, that is the whole show. I want to give y'all a positive story here. Let me see if I can pull it up now. This was absolutely hilarious. Hang on. Wait, no, hang on. Wait. That's not what I wanted. Child, let me tell you, to get all that in for y'all, whew, It's what we do. It's what we do is what we do over here. You know what? I may do that tonight. I may do a bonus one tonight for y'all with this story that just came out. I'm not gonna curb channel it. Now, y'all, I want y'all to look at this video right here, okay? I want y'all to look at this video real quick before we head out, because y'all know we always give y'all a positive news story. Sometimes it's positive for the fact that it's positive, and sometimes it's positive for the fact at least this ain't you. But I think after all of this, we could use a laugh. So give me a moment here, okay? Here we go, y'all. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, here we go. Basically, Jill Scott likes to make love, but she also likes to fuck too. And why can't women be honest about being a freak? Y'all, that's the show. One love, much love, all love. I feel the love. And send it right back to you. I'll see you guys tonight at 6 o'clock. Bye.
I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the
Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time.